So hi, welcome. We're going to talk about two things in this video. It's more or less a rambling video, and this is a totally new day. I didn't just put on cat ears and a glove. Welcome back to a brand new day. What a wonderful day to be in America. I love it. Who's having fun? So so it's a rambling video, and so we're just kind of going to get into it. And here's the thing. I did a Facebook fan page thing, and it kind of took off a little bit. I look so freaking goofy with the cat. It's just anyway. So the Facebook fan page thing, I put this up a few days back, and as you may be able to see, we are at 504 followers, which is, I feel pretty good, but at the same time, it's Facebook. The issue with Facebook is transphobia is rampant and wild. So I'm not going to be reading the comments. It's just it's like a beating something in your head through repetition kind of thing. It's the same kind of mentality the politicians use to convince these people that hey, you got to go against the trans people. Focus on that 1%, right? So I'm not going to continue to read I need admitted and okay sir and whatever. So I censored it for now. It doesn't faze me as much as other people. So I'm more censoring it for other girls that might like the fan page and be okay, want to be supportive on there as well or whatever. It's going to be a lot of the same YouTube stuff, but if you want to the Facebook thing, you're more than welcome to. The thing about this is the bio I have, if something is worth enduring, endure it. The official Facebook page of the YouTube channel Fluster Zero. So that's one of my sayings. The official Facebook page one, not the other one. No, I have two quotes. If I'm going to quote myself, right? That's one of them because that's such a quote that I've had to go back to so many times to get through so many hardships. And it's really kind of if you want to see the other side of something, if you want to see what happens at the end of this, you're going to pursue, right? The other one is what is life but a gamble? And I like that one a lot better before gambling was everything and we have it on the phone and you can go down the street and then and in a gas station and but the lottery tickets and so it's just there's everything's gambling now. And whenever everything becomes gambling, it's it's not gambling. You are consenting to robbery. You don't win a gambling by gambling and gambling and gambling. You win if you stop by and you leave. The money's not yours until you leave. Anyway, the 13 years living as a trans woman, and I predate the mass hysteria of transphobia, which I feel is very true. If you talk to other trans girls that have been around since 2015, before everybody had to have an opinion on a trans woman or what is a woman mentality, and it's okay, sir, these really fun people that are out and about and just literally everywhere in America now. It was better before everyone had to have an opinion of you. Everybody had to have that, thought process go through their head because we're not even that common that most people don't even see a trans person, but they may be online. They may have put 7,000 posts online about anti-trans stuff, and you don't know if this person actually sees trans people or not. This is just if you need attention that bad, why not you call us attention whores? Why don't you just transition? Why don't you just get the attention that way? Isn't that what I don't know. I'm not saying, hey, don't take me out of context. I do want to do an out of context video though at some point. I think that would be absolutely hilarious with some of the other clips that I've had. But I finished off with thank you for to all that support me. Lots and lots more to come. Just to kind of show hey, I'm not fazed by this as much as you think I am. And honestly, I would keep the comments on, but it's just a little much, and it's a little much to get notifications and going into the videos now. Maybe once I have more of a community and they want to be a little bit more defensive on my behalf, not necessarily saying that that's what I want or need out of a community kind of thing. I feel I can handle myself, right? I just don't want to upset other people. And so if you want to see how absolutely insane Facebook comments are, you would go to this video because we got 870 likes. And by the way, I posted 4 videos on here. I feel like that's pretty good for just like a brand new kind of like Facebook page thing. But I'm not really 100% sure. I feel like it's pretty good though. Comparing it to like other creators on Facebook, right? So the comments include, I'm not going to read them. So if you want to see, go to the page, go check it out. So we're going to continue to post stuff here. As far as like what we actually can post, it's going to be a lot of like Omegle videos. I think that's what we're going to stick with on there. I have over 1,000 clips on my computer. As far as like what I need to do is just like sit down and edit them. I really figured out editing stuff better. I feel like yay, because like I'm doing this all myself. Like I'm figuring this all myself, and it's rewarding to like be able to be like, okay, yeah, that took me 5 hours and somebody could have showed me that in 20 seconds, but like I figured it out myself. Yay, pat on the back thing, you know? So and I'm all for doing things that are difficult. Like things are like more difficult than they need to be. I still have like a mic sync issue on the one site that I'm trying to like sort and figure out. I've already gone in the settings, like readjust, like set a setting that changes like the mic output and like the volume and everything. But I'm not going to talk about that too much more. Just letting you know, like I want to try to get a little bit more traffic to the channel. But at the same time, there's something else that we need to talk about, and that's being disabled and living in America, because that's like, I mean, yeah, it's a rambling video, but also like this is kind of serious. This is something that like if you're on Social Security income, not Social Security disability income, this is like a complication in your life to try to like get beyond the situation that may be like too much for you to handle within your budget. And that's how I've had to like sacrifice a lot over the past years, and not knowing what my health like condition was and what was going on with that. Now I kind of know what's going on with that, and it's just been like still speculation. We need to do more imaging. We're going back to physical therapy again in 8 days actually. And so I'm probably going to start getting a little bit more fit from that. I'm probably going to do more band exercises. Hopefully I get my abs back if I like really work at it. I did start this other medication, so like potentially I might be able to like get to the point that like I can actually take care of myself like that again and really get in shape. I saw some pictures of myself like 2 years ago, and oh my God, like I look really good. So, you know, trying to make it back to that a little bit, maybe try to keep a little bit of the weight that I have, because I was maybe a little bit underweight at one point, but it kind of needed to be to have the abs that I did at the time. But the thing about the Social Security thing, right? We're going to break this down a little bit. As far as the maximum federal SSI payment is $994 per month for one person, or $1,491 for an eligible couple. And by the way, it's Disability Pride Month. You know, I'm not proud to be stuck in my situation. I mean, I wish there was a bit more understanding for like my condition, but I don't even fully understand it. Like, I mean, it just seems like every time I try to figure out, so like it's hard to get along in a normal world whenever like the system of the Social Security financial reporting and how you have to like handle that without like risking losing your benefits, and me trying to be on the ball with that. And I think I'm just like, I overthink things too, but at the same time I have like caseworkers and they have never been able to fully explain this. I feel like I understand things pretty well, but I don't even have a full understanding of things. How this actually works on Social Security is like I'm allowed to own one vehicle. If I owned a second vehicle, that counts as like a resource, and that's going to put me over the limit for being qualified for like Social Security. I'm all for moving on with my life and getting off Social Security if I could build the channel, if I knew that it would be consistent, if I knew there weren't going to be power outages moving forward in the future, that like the data centers are going to knock out the power, that there's going to be these downtimes, that like, hey, there isn't going to be some sort of law that bans trans people from existing on the internet, because it's not so far-fetched when it's been proposed in places like Michigan, like public existence of trans people online facing like, I forget if it was a fine or jail time or what, but it was proposed. It didn't go anywhere, but like still intent. This is what I've been trying to bring attention to. So anyway, yeah, so like you get like up to $994 a month. And that's tough whenever like the price of everything has pretty much tripled since I've been on it. I didn't have like a work history prior to Social Security. I worked while I was on Social Security, and it is a headache and a half. You go and report your income, then you get injured, and then you can't continue working, and you report that as your final thing, and you also call in and let them know, but then like it's still not reported, so then they send you a thing saying, hey, we're taking this much money off of you next month, and also the next month also, even after you figure and sort that one out, because like they want to continue to tell you that, hey, you're still making too much money, and it just ends up being this like second job, and you don't even understand what it's like whenever you have so little money that you have to go to the ATM to pick up the money to get the thing to do the thing, rather than just having the money on your card, or like having an extra couple, $100 in your glove compartment or something like that, to make like the convenience of life a little bit easier. It ends up becoming a second job to just try to do that. And I can only imagine for somebody that's like more disabled than me. Like I've been feeling like a 70-year-old, and creaky bones, painful popping, cracking, right? Very irritating, like, and injuries and stuff for my thing. But like, I can only imagine like, being wheelchair bound. That doesn't automatically put you on Social Security disability income. You still have to work for like 6 years of your life while on SSI if you have no prior work history to get put on SSDI. So once you're on SSDI, you're able to collect and keep like gambling winnings and whatever, and like as unearned income. Like that's like acceptable. I've reported gambling winnings before, and then I find out I'm not allowed to keep any of it but like $20 because it's a unearned income. So it's like I can't which fine, fair enough, like, right? But when you don't have enough money, when you are doing everything you can to be able to like try to survive and like and get by, and like I have goofy cat ears on. It's still funny to me. But when you're like literally putting your all into this, and all you do is sit around the house and think, I need money. How do I get the money? And then it's like, okay, well, what, like maybe if I do like medical and I go to the, and I go work somewhere, well, then the drug tests and the whatever, you can't necessarily, and that's held me back for years. That like I was like, well, this kind of helps with a lot of the discomfort that I'm dealing with, but like it's not like a definitive like for sure fix all, right? I'd prefer something better, but yeah, it's just it's really hard to navigate the system, and especially if you don't have all the information. I did apply to like a job at like a medical dispensary at one point. They said, you're hired. I called the Social Security office. They were like, hey, just to let you know, you're good. You're good to work there. It's not going to affect it's not going to affect your benefits. I had a caseworker at the time. The caseworker's like, you're going to lose your benefits if you accept this job. I called the Social Security back, and I talked to somebody else, and they were like, you're going to lose your benefits if you keep this job. And the job was like, I think it was like $16 an hour or something. It was something like that, plus tips. And so I think it's like, well, I have the actual number somewhere here. Let's see. The bank account resource limit is $2,000 for one person, or $3,000 for a married couple. This is a total of all countable resources, not $2,000 per account. Approximate work income cutoff. If you have no other income and no special deductions, your federal SSI cash payment reaches zero at approximately $2,073 in gross monthly wages. So if I made $2,073, if I go over that, then that's potentially putting my eligibility at risk. Now, like I said, I'm all for like moving on, building something bigger, continuing the channel, seeing how well it grows and everything. But I've also watched videos of like YouTubers that are like, hey, this AI system just like banned my account, saying that it's not like YouTube terms of service friendly, and I've been demonetized, and there's a 14-day process that they're going to get back to me, and then they get back to them, and then it's just like, oh, you can reapply for the monetization program in 90 days, and there's nothing around that you can really do around it. So like if that's my only income, then I'm like hinging on like AI detecting my stuff as being something that could potentially be taken down. And so these are the complications and risks that I have to weigh as a human being to be able to like survive and go forward. So like, what other options do I have? Like, well, I may lose my insurance. If I lose my insurance, that's after I make up to $40,000. I'm still eligible for my insurance until up to $40,000. But the complication with that is like, if I do go over $40,000, then I don't have insurance. But what you do for that is you pay for insurance out of pocket. Well, the issue with that is insurance premiums have doubled, tripled, and in some cases quadrupled in the past year because of the whole freaking thing. I forget what it's called, but like I've been paying attention and it's just like, okay, so if I make $40,000 a year, I'm actually going to be doing worse than where I'm at right now. Does that make sense? It's not fun or fair that that's the way that it goes. And like to try to advance after I make up to $65 in a single month, every dollar that I make, they keep 50 cents of it up until that payment threshold. And then I go over the limit kind of thing. So my Social Security, as long as I'm receiving like at least $1 in a month, I'm still eligible. So like how YouTube works is once you're monetized, you get paid $100 increments. So like if I got paid $100 at the end of the or at the beginning of next month or something, if I did end up making that much, then it's going to be that I keep like $82.50 of it. Because I get the 65, then the rest is halved. And so I also have to report that. So once I report that, they're going to assume that I'm making $100 every single month. And if I don't make it the next month, then that could be an issue. But then if I make like $400 the next month, right? I have some like wildly viral video or whatever. I get like 30,000 views on this one, X number of views on this, whatever it takes, really. I don't know fully what it would even take, but if I did that, right, then they're going to assume that I made that much for a few months. And I'm going to be able to like, I'm going to report it. I'm going to be like, hey, that's not how it went. That's not how it's working. Like, hey, I had 2 months that I didn't make anything, right? Or I stopped making videos for whatever. Or like we have a power outage, or we lose internet for like 3 weeks. Like whenever I had surgery, I was stuck here without internet for like 3 weeks, and it was like so boring and miserable to recover. But at the same time, I was able to like relax. I just wanted to watch shows or something, you know? I had a plan, but it just didn't. So anyway, we're going to try to like break this down a little bit more, that like Social Security income does not subtract every dollar you earn. Right. This is what I talked about. It normally ignores the first $20 of income. It then ignores another $65 of earned income. After that, Social Security is required. So I can keep $85. And then I get half of the rest. So I'd get $750 on top of that. So I'd get $92.50. Is that right? After that, SSI is reduced by approximately $1 for every $2 you earn, or 50 cents on every dollar. Example, you earn $1,000 of income, minus the 85 excluded, $915 remaining. So you earn $915 doing whatever work. Divided by 2, it's $457.50, right? So like this is what I said, right? You would have approximately $1,536.50 earned total before payroll taxes, $1,000 wages plus. So your exact payment could differ because Pennsylvania supplements. When your SSI cash payment reaches zero, with only wages and no special deductions, the federal payment normally reaches zero at about $2,073 gross in 1 month. That does not necessarily permanently remove you from SSI. Your payment can be zero for a high earning month and restart when your income falls. SSI has no SSDI style trial network period. Once you already receiving SSI under section 1619A allows SSI eligibility and sometimes cash payments to continue even when work reaches the normal substantial gainful activity level. The 1,690 monthly SGA number for 2026, I'm not sure what SGA is especially relevant when initially applying for disability-based SSI. It is not the same as ongoing SSI. So there's like different types of earnings, right? And this is like what I'm trying to like bring attention to is there's work employment type money, but then there's also like self-employment where you get a 1099 form and it's calculated differently. And I don't even understand how it's calculated differently. So we're going to try to figure this out together right now. Income from YouTube advertising, sponsorships, monetized content, freelance work, online sales, or 1099 job will generally be treated as self-employment income when it is an ongoing activity intended to make money. SSI generally counts your net earnings, not all of your money deposited in your account. Net earnings are approximately your business revenue minus legitimate business expenses. Business expenses? Can I write off my microphone? Examples could include platform fees, necessary editing software, business equipment deductions, advertising, or other allowable expenses. SSA generally divides your yearly net self-employment earnings equally across the months in your tax year, even when you earn more during some months than others. Okay, so putting a little bit of like the fear of like, what would happen if I continue my channel? See, like these are actual like legitimate fears of mine, right? Just because it's like, I do blood labs, I have hormones that come and it's not like the biggest thing. Like these are affordable if I had like the income for it, but I just, I don't want to have to like go from point A to point B and have like confusion with it, right? And it's not something that's very easily explained. And you can ask all the questions you want to the people that work at the Social Security office. And I mean, they're overworked, they're understaffed. I get it, but like, it's really hard to get like the answers that like I feel like I need. Maybe I just don't understand, right? After calculating the monthly SSA monthly amount, SSA applies the same earned income exclusions used for regular wages. Example, suppose your channel receives $1,000 in revenue, $300 in legitimate business expenses, approximately $700 in net business income. Okay, so I could write off my microphone. This is what it's sounding like. But do I? Yeah, I don't know. SSA would generally work for the net earnings shown through your business records and tax forms, not simply treat the full $1,000 deposit as countable income. Keep receipts, payment statements, scheduled C records, and platform earning reports. Cash gifts and other non-work income. Income that is not payment for work is usually unearned income. Examples include cash gifts from friends or relatives, unemployment, pensions, other Social Security payments, dividends, and certain investment incomes. Gambling. Also, gambling, right? If you get a hand pay gambling and you accept it while you're on Social Security income, which you hand pay at like a casino or whatever, it used to be $1,200. Now it's $2,000. If you go over that and you report that to Social Security, then, or like you have to report it to Social Security, you're going to have it count as unearned income. It's a lot of like work and extra, like, okay, now I gotta like, do I pay the taxes? If you already paid the taxes on it, like, are you even in the tax bracket to be paying it? It's just like, it's just a lot of extra thinking and critical thinking that I feel like a lot of people aren't even putting into like consideration. I see, and this is the thing too. I live near a place that has a casino at it. I get to see people lose their ass. I literally get to see like people that are low income go daily and lose their ass, and it's just like it's hard to watch. And then sometimes, like, I don't know, I hear the stories that they're just like, oh, I wish I never accepted the hand pay or whatever. It's just like, why? And then so that like I did research and I get it. It's just like, yeah, it's SSI normally ignores only the first $20. So yeah, if you won whatever money gambling, you're allowed to keep the first 20. but then it reduces your payment approximately dollar for dollar, which it does. I've lived this. For example, because I won like $170 one time I went, and then I reported it. I'm like, what? I don't get to keep this? I already spent that money. What? And oh my God. And I just didn't know how it worked. So like these are the things that like aren't super clear and so easily accessible to somebody like me. Like to me and like anyone else that's on like Social Security that like but anyway, let's try to get through this. Dollar for dollar. For example, $300 countable type unearned income would usually leave 208. Yeah. I don't need an example. We already know. A genuine loan that you are legally required to repay generally does not count as income. Someone paying a non-food or non-housing expense directly, such as medical or telephone bill, also generally does not count. The classification depends on why you received the money, not whether it came through PayPal, Cash App, YouTube, or another platform. So bank account and property rules on Social Security income, and again, this is SSI, not SSDI. The $2,000 limit applies to your combined countable property, including checking and savings account, cash, stocks and bonds, cryptocurrency and digital wallet balance, extra property, and sometimes additional vehicles. The following generally do not count: the home you live in, one vehicle used for transportation. And this is one thing that I want to talk about for a second. If I win a Porsche GT3 in this Porsche GT3 giveaway that I entered, and I want it so bad because it would look good on me, right? I could either keep it and try to like do a GoFundMe to afford the taxes on it, because it would be like a $76,000 tax that I'd have to pay. Plus, I mean, and then insurance parts, you know, it's not something that like is affordable. It literally wouldn't be affordable. I would much prefer to sell the car and do something with the money and just build from there. So like, I'm just like, if I got $250,000 from selling this car and I was able to keep that, I'm going to buy like, I'm going to buy another sport car that's like $30,000 and I'm going to build my life. I'm going to finally have a chance to build my life, right? That's literally it. Like, you have to win the lottery to get off but you're not allowed to keep gambling winning. So it's kind of like a weird, I don't know, just a weird take that I have. Like, I mean, I've bounced my thoughts around on this stuff so much. I've literally just like sat around and been depressed. Like, oh, but money and money isn't real. I am a firm believer that money isn't real. I'm like, my cousin that makes $5,000 every 2 weeks working a tech job tells me money isn't real. And I'm like, no, money is real. And then like after long enough, I'm just like, money really isn't real. So there's like a point where if you don't have any money and you're irresponsible with your money, then that's not like the right way to do things, right? But then it goes through like, okay, working class and like money matters. You need to pay your bills. You need it. And then once you have so much money isn't real again. That's just how it is. Like, right? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. That's my headspace on anyway. Yeah, the following are generally not counted toward the $2,000 limit, right? Is the home you live in, one vehicle used for transportation. Again, it's just so crazy that you'd be able to own like a super sport car. Anyway, normal household belongings, certain burial funds, business property needed for self-support, up to $100,000 in qualifying ABLE account. Never heard of that. Retroactive SSI or Social Security payments for 9 months after receipt. SSA examines your countable resources at the beginning of each month. Even being slightly over $2,000 can make you financially ineligible for that month. Money received as income during 1 month that you still own in a later month may become a countable resource. So how long can you go before going over the limit? Earnings. One high income month can reduce or eliminate that month's Social Security payment. That does not automatically permanently remove you. Oh, by the way, the nuance of if I won a Porsche GT3, by the way, I could keep the car as long as I got rid of my car. I got rid of the title and I got that all done in a month. I'd be allowed to keep the car, but I'd also lose my social security payment for that month, just that month, because like you don't need to eat, you don't need gas money, you don't need to survive for a month. There's no bills to pay. There's nothing that you'd actually need money for. So it's like, again, even in this like wild fantasy of mine, it's like there's this like, oh, do I even, maybe I shouldn't enter because like I wouldn't be able to survive for a month, you know? And that's the realistic take that I have on this stuff. I want out of this. I want out of this so badly. Nobody knows if Social Security is going to be around forever. I know my body's not capable of like being that 9 to 5. I loved working. Listen, I loved working at a few of the places. Even the fast food place. I mean, it was hectic. I burnt my fingernails off the paint jobs, and I got cheese under my freaking fingers, and it stunk every time I went home. But like, I liked the job. I liked the seeing people. I liked making people. I mean, it wasn't the best when people were hangry, right? And then working customer service at like another place that like I just had a lot of fun with it, and like cool people would come in, and it was just like laid back. But at the same time, just folding t-shirts, just putting like a couple blankets up on the wall, just doing a couple simple tasks were enough to have like a neck flare up that lasted 2 weeks where my head was locked up, that I thought like, oh, I'm gonna need neck surgery. I didn't know like it was like a flare up with my conditions. And I'm not built for it. I wish I could. I wish I could participate. I wish I could have built my funds up a different way, and I wish I could have gone about things a little bit differently. But the thing about, people we're all kind of unique. We all kind of have our, own quirky whatevers. And so yeah. How long can you be over the limit? Like I said, with the earnings. Resources. If your countable resources are over $2,000 at the beginning of a month, you are generally ineligible for that entire month. 12 consecutive months. When SSI is formally suspended for 12 consecutive months, SSA generally terminates the record and a new application may be required. That does not necessarily apply when you remain eligible for Medicaid under the special working rules. Benefits ended because of working. You may request expedited reinstatement within 5 years if your disability later prevents you from continuing to work. SSA may provide up to 6 months of temporary benefits while reviewing the request. So like as far as like how long that takes, who knows? I mean, and so like it's a faster process to getting back on the program than just like reapplying from scratch. I remember like applying for this when I started getting like chronic daily headaches in school, and it just took so freaking long to get on. And I didn't even know how like things worked. I didn't even know like I had a food card for like 7 years or something, and then I was like, oh, I have like food money, I'm able to. And it's like things aren't explained super well. Yeah, and then reporting deadlines. Reporting starting or stopping working immediately. Report gross wages and changes in self-employment income. The official deadline is generally the 10th day of the following month. I do remember that as well. Okay. SSA recommends electronic wage reporting during the first 6 days of the month. Except I can't log into my account, and it's impossible to log into my account online. And they tell me you should try the app every time. And it's like the app doesn't work. The app doesn't work. I can't keep pay stubs, business expense receipts, and copies of everything submitted. Late reporting does not usually cause an immediate permanent removal, but it can create an overpayment that SSA demands you to repay. This has also happened to me in the past, that I've turned things in and then it wasn't like calculated right away, and I had to turn things in again because they're like, well, we don't have this on record. It's like, I dropped off the papers and I talked to someone. But okay, sure. And then it ends up being like, oh, okay, so you earned this much in this month too, so we're going to deduct it from the next payment too. And then it can double down, and then like you have to save the money that you do make. So when you do make like, okay, let's say you make $300 working a part-time job or whatever, you get to keep 150 plus the 85, so like 220, like 225ish, right? Something like that. Is that right? I don't know. I'm not mathing right now, but the freaking, yeah, so then like then you have to like keep that money like set aside. You get to keep that 85 or whatever, but like you have to keep that money set aside for your expenses for the following month, and you have to like be extra responsible on your spending, because like going and working on social security can easily become um something that has cost you more money if you're wasteful with your money. If you start spending it too early, you have to literally sit on it for like a month just to be able to like calculate things easier. Like that's kind of what I had to do, to be like, okay, I'm not going to spend this right away just because like I don't know what all expenses I'm going to have next month. Oh, I'm only getting like $667 next month, like at like one of my highest pays or whatever. It's just like, okay, I'm not going to risk like losing, you know. I didn't realize this video is getting this long at this point. But yeah, like, I mean, I think it's important to talk about this type of stuff because, like, this is a program that a lot of people are on. A lot of people are kind of, like, stuck in the cycle of. I've been seeing this a lot on social media, especially with a certain few trans girls. And it's not that necessarily that they're, just not trying. It's that they are trying and they don't know how to get out of it. It's that these programs are just like, they feel kind of entrapping whenever the prices of everything have, like, since I started being enrolled, like tripling on a lot of things. And while my payment went up, like I think when I originally started receiving payments or something like that, it was like maybe around like 600 and something a month, and now it's up to like that 994 or whatever. It still isn't enough whenever things inflate as much as they do. And so it still ends up being that you're really not getting as much as you. And then there was like more recent programs that like I was helping with, like resources. It's just, I don't know, it's frustrating the way you have to report like the resources and stuff, like your bills and stuff, and to get like extra like food money or whatever. And so like I said, I'm a little bit concerned about growing the channel, and I don't feel like that's fair. I want to be able to make the channel what I want it to be. I want to be able to have the community that I want, the network that I want, and I feel like I'm doing like a pretty good job at like getting my messages out there and talking about the things that I find um I just cute like that. I just cute like that. Yeah. Um yeah, and just getting like my points across and trying to be fun with it and trying to like have a fun take on it. And it's like I get when people like, and I mean I talk about this too much when I say like the comments don't faze me and stuff. It's just like all of this work to get half of the money kind of thing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful of the people that have like, been watching my videos. I'm highly like, I can't thank you enough for like being there and consistently watching my videos and helping this channel grow. It does more than you think to like and subscribe and to watch the video. And to get to this point in the video, you've done more for me than a lot of people just for that. And I thank you so much for that. So, we're going to continue to like push and try to grow. I want to do more comedy based stuff. I hope that like, the world shapes up in a way that like I can actually make and continue to make this type of content. I know that like I don't have my youth about me forever. I want to be able to do what I can while I can. I want to do what I can before my health might go in a certain direction. And so, yeah, I mean, it means a lot to be able to like do what I'm doing now. And we're going to continue to grow as a channel. The Omegle clips and stuff, like I have literally like over 1,000 Omegle clips already on my computer. I can go through those and I can probably find like 50 to 80 like good ones. There's a lot that I've like saved that aren't exactly like amazing, or not necessarily saved. I just kind of like cut the feed if it was like something that I'm like, okay, well that might be a reaction. Sometimes I don't always delete them. I feel like that was easier whenever I didn't have the storage space. Now that I'm going to have the storage space, I could film longer videos. I could cut them down, use the parts that I want, save those, and just have even more storage. I haven't put the new computer part in quite yet at this point. But we did take the computer apart the other day. We did a live stream on somewhere. I'm not gonna say where, but like yeah, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun to get back in my PC, see how everything was. And so once we get this computer part, we're gonna finish that up. We're gonna have a lot more storage. We're gonna be able to do a lot more, um, just content that I want to make, right? And while I deal with like the transphobic everything when I go on Omegle 2, there's a lot of hatred on there. It's still so rewarding for like these little clips that I've been putting in the shorts that like I love them. I love the one girl, the ASMR reaction. I absolutely love that girl. Like I hope I get to meet her again someday. I'm just gonna be like, oh my god, I just love that clip. Every time like when I watch it, I smile. So that's why I feel like putting that out there. There's so much negativity out there right now. And even with like everything going on within this community, how like hard things are for like people like me. Um, I still want to try to like entertain people. I still want to make people laugh. So, that's gonna be it before I get freaking emotional. So yeah,